Bonjour. Welcome to this channel where I talk about the Cambodian language and culture. In this video I will be explaining why I think you should choose Cambodian or Khmer as your next language. So Khmer is it's not a tonal language like Chinese or Thai, where you have to learn how to differentiate between rising and sinking tones or flat tones, and the same words can have different meanings because of that, making it a lot simpler, making Khmer a lot simpler compared to Chinese or Thai. So that was a great relief when I found that out. Khmer does have short and long vowels, so a word can have different meanings, depending on whether it's a long or short vowel. So, for instance, na or na is are two different words. So na would be very, and na means where. Another example is kla or kla. Kla meaning some, and kla meaning tiger. Another great feature about Cambodian is that, or Khmer, is that the verbs they don't change depending on who the subject is. Like most Western languages, for instance, they would have different forms of the words. So depending on whether it's I, he, she, we, they. But in Khmer, the verb stays the same, so you don't have to remember all different conjugations of verbs, also making it very easy. So depending on who the subject is. So like I go, knom tao, you go, lok tao, he, she goes, quat tao. So they are the same, no matter who the subject is. And another great feature about Khmer is that you don't have to worry about verb tenses either. The verb would stay the same if, like you said, no matter when you did something. Like if you did it yesterday or today, or you will do something tomorrow, it will all be the same. An example of the verb staying the same no matter when it happens, like so if you wanted to say I will go to school today, Tnai ni knom tao sa la is today I will go to school. Yesterday I went to school. Mesulmang knom tao sa la. So tao, which means go, would be the same. And if I wanted to say I go to school now, kampong tao sa la. I go to school now. Knom kampong tao sa la. So in Khmer you would discern from the context so which tense the verb had. So you would add some time identifier at the beginning, like Tnai ni or Mesulmain, or and there are also some words which identify time, like kampong, which is now, or present tense identifier, ban, which is the past tense identifier, but it's not used so much in daily speech. So you would add some time reference to to explain when it happened, like 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, or yesterday. And nung would tell it to be in the future. Nung is the future tense identifier. So, learning a new language is great fun, I think, and it tells you something. First, it gives you a new way to look at the world, and also it tells you something about the culture of the people. An example from Khmer would be that Khmer has over 100 ways to say you, and you would change what word you'd use depending on social status or the age of the person you were talking to. So if you talk to someone of a low social status, you would say nyak, or if you're talking to a good friend, you'd say bong, or if you're talking to a person with a high social status, you would say lok. If you're talking to a little kid, a younger person than yourself, you might say pohon. If you're talking to someone older, you'd say bu, which was uncle, or ming, which is aunt. And so if you were talking to someone roughly the same age as your mother or father, you'd use that. So that tells you something about Khmer culture, I think. From what I've heard anyway, they have a lot of emphasis on hierarchy and social status, and the language shows how important that is. Okay, this is all for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will get back to you as soon as I can to explain a bit more about the Cambodian script, which is also very fascinating. So, chung rik li.
Rombong rombong saravan